Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Kardec Radio. My name is Daisy Galan, and I am the host of today's daily prayer program. If this is your first time joining us here on Kardec Radio, we welcome you to our program. If you have joined us before, we are delighted to see you here today. These are truly a special moment to be here, be able to pray together. You might be asking yourself, why do we have these programs of prayer together with one another? We know in Spiritism that when we pray, we elevated ourselves, we elevate our vibrations, our energies. A heartfelt prayer, we connect with our guardian angels, with the mentors, and is truly a treatment that we receive. And if we do this as a group together, is even stronger and more powerful. So I see many friends joining us and coming in. I'm gonna check here that all our platforms are working so that we can continue with our program. Great. So today we're gonna start with a short initial prayer. Then I'm going to read a message from this beautiful book, The Way, the Truth, and the Life, from psychographed by Chico Xavier from Emmanuel. It's short messages, but very, very deep. They bring us very good reminders and teachings. And then we're going to comment a little bit on the message, and then we're going to finalize with a final prayer. You're welcome if you are, whenever you are, to get a glass of water. You can put a glass of water right next to you. During these times, we know that the Spirit's guides are here with us. They not only will be providing the treatment that we need, but they will also bless the water and we can drink that afterwards. So, with that, friends, I invite you to join us in our initial prayer of today. So if you can close your eyes, hear to this beautiful melody. And for a few moments, we're gonna ask you to disconnect from your daily lives. Stop whatever you're doing. Find a quiet place and close your eyes. And let's imagine that this beautiful melody is enveloping you in higher vibrations and is transporting you to a beautiful lavender field where you see the sun setting, the smell of the lavender flowers. And we raise our thoughts to God. Dear loving God, thank you for loving us unconditionally. Thank you for sending your messengers that guide us, support us, and provide us with the remedies that we need to succeed in this reincarnation. Thank you for the gift of this reincarnation. We know that is not simple, Father, to reincarnate on planet Earth. We were prepared, advised, and guided and are watched daily by Jesus so that we can succeed on the plan that your loving emissaries provided to us. As we are here at this moment, help us focus on the real purpose of life, surpassing the shortcomings, the difficulties, and the illusions of the matter, to focus on our eternal gains, our spiritual, moral development. As we are together with you in this moment, we also pray for those who are at this very moment suffering physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Whenever they are, Father, that they can receive the blessings that you shower upon us. They can receive the treatment that they need so they can also succeed in their reincarnatory plans. Open our hearts and our minds to this moment of study, prayer, and healing for our souls. And with your permission, we open this study in this prayer moments of today. And so be it. So, dear friends, welcome for those who are joining us. This is our daily prayer program. Today, we're going to be reading a beautiful message by Emmanuel in this book, The Way, the Truth, and the Life, psychographed by our dear Chico Xavier. The title of the message is Praise to the Good. And if you have this book at home and you want to follow along, it's chapter number 42. Emmanuel quotes Paul in Romans chapter 2, verses 10, when Paul says, "But praise, honor, and peace to anyone who does good." And Emmanuel explains to us, maliciousness usually leads people to wrongful interpretations of the good if they do not stem from their own particular religious confession, their own work environment, or their familial community of which they are member. Self-centeredness makes them believe that anything holy, good, can only be done by them and their and by theirs. This is one of the worst characteristics of the personality. The good emanates incessantly from God, and God is the Father of all. It is through good persons that the Most High toil against the sectarism that has transformed his earthly children into consummate combatants that commit pointless and bloody acts. No matter how forcefully spontaneous teachings from heaven convoke people to realize this truth, they continue their offensive, threatening, and destructive attitudes towards one another. Even so, the Father blesses the good whenever it is to be found. It is crucial that we not focus on individuals per se, but that we observe and understand the good that the Supreme Lord sends us throughout them. Why does people's outward appearance matter anyway? How does their nationality, name, or color really concern us? Let us grasp the message that they have brought us. Even if they are devoted to evil, they still deserve the good that we may offer them. But if they are good and sincere within their area of service, then they deserve peace and honor from God. Dear friends, today's message, as always, Emmanuel is so timely, right, in bringing these teachings to us, talking about the good. And it's so timely because as it is nowadays, there's so much discussion about who is bringing, right, the good or the truth, right? Is it a particular sector of society? Is it a particular religious group? A specific group, right, within our society's status, right? And it's so beautiful because Emmanuel reminds us that the good is everywhere. It is not focused on a particular group of people, a particular religion, or those who have a certain education or social status, right? He is reminding us that the good is everywhere. And we should, instead of being, as they said, those who condemn or put it down, right? Because people are different from us, they come from a different nationality, they have a different culture, right? A different color of skin. He's saying that, on the contrary, the good comes across our planet, and we should embrace it regardless of who is bringing it to us, of a particular person. The important is the message, right? Knowing that is the good, a good message, that's what we should focus. As they say, right, it's not really the messenger, right? It's the message, the quality of the message itself. So, how we bring this closer to us so that we can truly feel it, right? Is when we think that we will only trust a particular message if it comes from groups X, Y, and Z, right? Is when in our religious groups, and if you're here in Spiritism, we only think that the good comes from Spiritists or Spiritist groups. But on the contrary, right, we see across different religious beliefs, right? Across different philosophical beliefs, so many good messages. And Spiritism, that's the beauty of it, because we don't form barriers, right, against others. On the contrary, we embrace, right? Because we know that God is making sure that his message of the good comes across, right? How it is this works in our family is when we think that we will only trust or we will only listen to a particular family member, and then we judge others because of their actions. And when they bring an idea or um, a particular idea to us, right? What we do, we put them aside. Because as he says here, we focus on the individual, right? Instead of the message. So today, the mentors are asking us to review how we are filtering the good that we see in the world. Are we opening our eyes to really see the good in everywhere, in everyone? Or are we putting on this shades, the sunglasses, right? That only filter based on particular, right, pre-established social norms, pre-established discriminations that we have inside of us, even though we say, no, Daisy, but I don't have anything, I'm on cancer, but we all do. If you go in science and study it, science shows us we bring a baggage from our cultural beliefs, the ways we're raised, and is unconscious, built in our minds. So when we look to the world, we already come with those pre-established ideas, and we see things in a particular way. So it's the training. We really have to train ourselves to make sure that we're removing those shades, right? And we're focusing on the message. Because he says, even if the message comes from someone who is devoted to evil, they still deserve that the good that we might offer them. And we see this in our society so much, specifically also in politics. And we're not going to go into details, but if it's a particular, right, government or a particular party that sees people already block the message without even listen to it. But he's saying if it's something good, it's something good that comes to us, it doesn't really matter the messenger. What really matters is that we're able to really focus on identifying the good everywhere. And in this pandemic, as we are going through right now, it's a good way for us to exercise this, because it's so easy for us to turn on the news and focus on what is not so good, right? The news is reporting deaths, right? What are they reporting? The number of cases, the number of deaths, the number of countries who are reopening, right? The discussion. So, do we think that is really what we should be focusing? But on the contrary, there are so many good things. We're not saying that we will not be informed. Yes, we will use the information providing the media, but to a certain extent, but we'll focus on the good, right? And what is that? You might be asking, right? How can I see the good? And we know So many people are suffering, and we pray for them. We truly feel for them in both realms. But if we focus on the negativity, how are we going to be able to help raise, right, the vibration of our planet? Because we'll only go pass through this pandemic once our whole planet as a whole has raised the vibration for the next level. So instead of focus on the negativity and being on that wave, we can help our planets whenever you are. You don't need to be in the front lines in healthcare settings. You don't need to be, outside facing people. You can truly be on your homes, raising our our thoughts and our vibrations and thinking, right? We will go past through this. Look, the beautiful things, right? We are learning how we can take better care of ourselves, of our planet, right? Our environment, the planet is truly a healthier planet now, right? We see on and on news, science is escalating, right? The pandemic is pushing us to truly look into what is important, not only externally, but specifically internally. Who we have to reconcile, right? What are the things that we have to do inside of ourselves? So, today and tonight, this evening, whenever you are, we are inviting you, the mentors of Kardec Radio are invite all of us, including myself, to focus on the good message, not the messenger, not where it's coming from. But if it's truly a good message, then, right, what is a way we can do that? Because in Spiritism, we know, right, what is the opposite of good? It's the bad, right? As André Rodrigues is saying here, right? The bad or evil is just the absence of the good, like the shadow, right? We look at the shadow, but what is the shadow? It's just the absence of light, and that is evil. It's just temporarily the absence of the good. But as the sunlight, the good that God brings to us is everywhere. Everywhere we look, we can see the good. Remember that passage from Jesus when he's walking with the apostles and they see this dead dog on the ground and it smells bad, it's been there for a while, and the disciples are like, oh, ooh, this disgusting, oh my gosh. And what Jesus says? He says, look, he must have some beautiful teeth. Isn't that amazing? So Jesus is teaching us to, even in the middle of a situation that's truly sad, that's truly agonizing, we can find the good. So we invite you all today to focus, as Emmanuel titled this message, praising to the good and focusing on the good everywhere we go. So to focus on the good now, I invite you for a visualization, right? How can we raise our vibrations? If you watch the 11 p.m. programs here at Kardec Radio, we're studying a beautiful book from message that came through Chico Xavier in his mediumistic meetings. And in one of those messages, 2 days ago, the mentors reminded us that if we visualize beautiful landscapes, beautiful, you can think about, nature, whatever comes to your mind that brings you peace, right? Can be a beautiful field of flowers, the ocean, right? Nature, trees. If we focus on that, in the beauty that's in nature that comes from God, just to visualizing that, we're already raising our vibrations. So anytime you're feeling sad, you're feeling down, right? We have our phones. We can choose, right? We can go to Facebook and browse and see all the, the range of different news. Or you can use their apps that you can use. I particularly enjoy this beautiful apps called Calm. See a beautiful landscape. You can listen to it, and it's truly. Do you hear? You can put, if you like the beach, you can just open the app and take a deep breath. And right there, by doing that, we can already raise our vibrations. So we can use social media and the technology that we have in our hands to help us focus on the good. So right now, we invite you to a visualization. I'm going to put the Ave Maria here for us to help us in this moment and connect with our mentors. So we ask you now to stop whatever you're doing to join us so that we can be a part, right? We can partake in raising our thoughts to the good. So let's now close our eyes and let's transport ourselves to a beautiful, beautiful field of flowers. This beautiful field of lavender flowers. Pay attention to the color of the flowers, the texture, how the lavender blends in with the color of the leaves. Picture that this field expands to the horizon and you never seen anything so beautiful. You can hear the birds singing in the background and the sky, such a beautiful sky because it's sunset and you can see the colors mixed, the orange with the red and the yellow, showing a beautiful sunset. And we raise our thoughts as we see this beautiful landscape. And we thank God and Master Jesus for bringing nature to us. It's so easy to look at nature and connect with the creative forces in our lives. We can use nature to rebalance ourselves and to remind us that, like a beautiful tree, it stays strong regardless of the storms, the harsh winters, the strong winds, the hot summer days. And the fall when the leaves dry out. Dear loving Father, today we want to think about ourselves as a beautiful tree that is connected deeply in the ground, being nourished by your love, but resilient on the outside to the difficulties and troubles of our daily lives. Has this tree let us focus on the good that is around us and within us? Because the good is everywhere to be found, regardless of religious, social positions, titles, economic classes. You show us that is good across our world. And as our hearts are in deep gratitude, we ask you, Father, to help those who are in truly need, much greater need than ourselves, in both realms of life, that they can receive your kind embrace, and they can feel like this beautiful tree, strong and resilient, knowing that we are all immortal spirits, destined to progress and to the good. And with your permission, dear Father, we close this prayerful moments of today, asking that we can continue focus on the good throughout this week. And so be it. Thank you so much, dear friends, for joining us here today. I see so many beautiful friends. Thank you for being here. We want to remind you that we're here every day at 6 p.m. for daily prayer. You're also invited to listen to Kardec Radio on demand on SoundCloud. We have podcasts 24/7 for you to listen to connect. We have our live programs here on Facebook that you can connect it to. And we're praying for you whenever you are. Don't feel you're by yourself. We're all interconnected with one another. We hope you have a beautiful day whenever you are, and we will see you tomorrow for daily prayer program. Have a beautiful evening. Bye bye.